Season's greetings, Internet, and welcome back for another Oxmas presentation. So for today's particular video, we're going to be taking a look at a kind of cereal that was just dropped this year. At least I believe this is the first year this has come out. Again, I need to work on doing my research before I turn on the camera. Anywho, it is a cereal based on an ancient holiday special that a lot of people still love up until this day. Honestly, I've still got a little bit of a soft spot for it. The underdog story of a little wild animal who goes on to become the leader of Santa's sleigh on a dark and foggy night. If y'all haven't guessed what it is yet, well, I'll just go ahead and reveal to you all, the viewing audience, right now what it is I'm referring to. A cereal based off of a 1964 or 1965 editing me. Go ahead and put the actual year right here on the chest. Rankin Bass animated special, and also something that some of you probably might not be familiar with is the fact that as of this year, now both people who created the company Rankin Bass, I think it was Arthur Rankin who passed away this year, because I believe Jules Bass, yeah, I said that right. Jules Bass passed away back in 2014. Editing me, go ahead and correct that if I'm wrong. And if not, then, well, feel free to still, on either shoulder, put, add that bit of macabre trivia. And this isn't me making light of the fact that these two men are gone, because they made some great, and some admittedly not so great, animated specials over the course of their careers, plus they made quite a few animated series. And they also were, what's the word I'm looking for? They were the company that created the first animated versions of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit animated films back in the day. I think I said animated twice, but whatever. But regardless, a cereal based on the main character of one of their most famous animated specials. Without further delay, ladies and gents, and everyone in between, I present to you the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cereal, which is apparently supposed to taste like hot cocoa. We shall see. We shall definitely see. Now, one thing I like about this is they went ahead and I'm sure this is a more modern version of Rudolph, because if I'm not mistaken, within the last 20 years they did make a more modern Rudolph animated special. But then again, for all I know, that could be just a very high-resolution scan of one of the original stills from the original animated series. Not series, animated special. But, what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet. But as you can see, we've got this nice picture of Rudolph on the front right there, just looking at the little kids going, like, who's ready to go to the island of misfit toys and play with the Charlie in the box? Well, too bad, because we already took him away and put him on hooked him up with another kid who will actually play with him. Hey! I don't know why Rudolph would go, hey! That's just me trying to be cute, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so one thing I will say right off the bat is I like the packaging on this box of cereal. It's got the nice red and green that you associate with this time of year, and also the red and green you associate with a certain Ninja Turtle. Raphael. And in case you're wondering what this is basically a Ninja Turtles Sky Dancer. Completely unrelated, but, what you do is you pull on this string here and he spins around like this, and when you pull the string fast enough, he will actually fly off and go somewhere, and, well, I'll demonstrate real quick, because when else am I going to get the chance to do this? And that almost hit the camera. I am sorry for any of you who just got jump scared. But thankfully, he landed well within reach, so I can just put him back on the thingy and put that back on the shelf. So anyway, it's got the usual colors you associate with this time of year if you're of a, if you celebrate a certain holiday. Not to mention it's actually friggin' got Rudolph right on the front there. In his classic Puppetoon style glory. Alright, and let's see now. On the side, we have our little flying reindeer. We've got, looks like a Christmas ornament. No, Rudolph's nose. And then we have a Christmas tree. Let me point them out. We've got the flying reindeer, we got Rudolph's nose, we have a Christmas tree, which is actually pretty hard to see because of the coloration of the background. And then apparently we've got Hermie's hat. And for anyone who doesn't actually know who Hermie is, he's the little elf that wants to be a dentist. And he's the one who wasn't at elf practice. If any of you remember that ridiculous meme that was going on around a few years ago, you know, just at random, it would be the boss elf just charging in and going, "Why weren't you at elf practice?" It was such a stupid meme. But it stuck around for so freaking long. Anyway. Yeah, so as I just showed off, there's stuff on the back of the box, too. Then we've got the nutrition facts. And the top and bottom of the box are kind of plain. Just has the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer logo right there. The Rankin Bass version. Much of the same on the top. Alright, so let's talk about more of the rest of the box. So I just showed off the side, and then down here at the bottom we have Rudolph and Clarice being little sweethearts. That is until Clarice's father comes in and goes, "Now, Clarice, I don't want you associating with that red-nosed Rudolph. You ain't right." Then on the back, we have Coach, which I believe the name is literally just Coach. If I'm wrong, editing me, go ahead and put his actual name somewhere on the screen. So on the back, we actually have some activities. This is something that I'm happy with. As I've mentioned with a bunch of other serials lately where they don't actually have an activity, it's just like a picture and a thing on the side or something boring like that. This one supposedly has some activities. So we've got Coach up here saying, "Join the reindeer games. If you want to be a reindeer who pulls Santa's sleigh just like Rudolph, then you must train hard. And you must also be a reindeer." Let's see, flying practice. Paw at the ground, then get a running start and leap into the air. Challenge your friends to see who can fly the farthest. Yeah, I can't see that going over very well with children these days. Okay, then we have antler tag. Gather your herd, then put your fingers on your head like antlers, and try to tag your friends while they run away. That's another one I don't see ending well. Lots of, I wouldn't say concussions unless they're running really fast, and just lots of bruises and contusions to the top of the head. Not to mention the potentiality of like breaking a finger if you like run at the wall and hit the wrong way. But again, what do I know? Bumble escape. Take turns pulling each other on a sled to see who can run away from the bumble the fastest. No snow? Then see who can run around the place where you live the fastest. Okay. That's, so in other words, that one's just tag. That was weird, my lights just flickered. Alright, and then apparently we have... Oh, okay, cool. We have an ornament down here that you can cut out of old Rudolph himself. At least I assume that's what this is. After you're done playing games, you can cut out your Rudolph ornament. I was right. And fold over the top, tape at the bottom to make a hole for the string. Wait, I said that wrong. Tape at the bottom and make a hole for the string. Okay, so essentially what you're supposed to do with this, as it just said, you cut this out. It's probably hard to tell, but there's a white dotted line around the outside. And then you fold this. And another thing you probably might not be able to see is there's a little white circle right here, little white dot outline on either side. So when you fold it, you punch a hole through that little spot there, and then you tape it at the bottom so it like stays in one piece, and you've got yourself a Rudolph ornament that you can hang on your tree, if you do that sort of thing. Alright, so anything else that we can talk about now? Oh, right. Those dreaded nutrition facts. But before I get to that, I just noticed down on here the little, the copyright blurb. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, copyright and bunch of other little symbols. The Rudolf Company, LP, all elements under license to Character Arts, LLC, all rights reserved. Okay, now that I've, said that. Alright, so for the nutrition facts, for those calorie conscious like myself, they go as follows. There are approximately 13 servings per container, and each serving is 1 cup or 37 grams. And the amount of calories per your 1 cup 37 gram serving before milk is 140. And then when you add to that 1/2 a cup of skim milk, that jumps up from being 140 calories per 1 cup or 37 grams to 190 calories per 1 cup 37 gram serving. Well, now you know. Honestly, I don't think that's that bad. Really wish that light would stop doing that. I don't know if it's picking up over there, but the main light in my room, which is where I'm currently recording, just like every once in a while it goes like flip, kind of flip, flickers. Anyway, enough of that. We want to get on to the cereal. We don't want to worry about my electrical issues. So with that, I'm going to go right on ahead and crack this bad boy open. And there we are. Got the tabs opened. Now we get to open up the actual bag that contains the cereal itself and get a whiff of that hot cocoa flavored cereal. Holding it away from myself for a moment, getting my nose prepared. Alright, here we go. Okay, it does have a bit of a chocolatey, cocoa-y aroma. I would say it's almost on the level of Count Chocula. Actually, no, I can't really even say that, because with Count Chocula, you open that up and you can immediately smell this. This is like a 50-50. I can smell the cardboard of the box along with the cocoa aroma. I almost called it flavoring. Alright, so before I go any farther... Oh, you are kidding me? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hold on for one moment. I just realized something about this, and I need to go get my comparison so that you all can see what I see. So, something that I noticed looking at the side of the box, but now it's even more prevalent now that I've looked at the actual cereal pieces itself. To any of you out there who have had the different varieties of the Reese's Puffs over the last couple of years, do any of you recognize this particular little shape right here that's supposed to be the flying reindeer? Look familiar at all? If what I'm seeing is correct, then that flying reindeer is in fact just a Reese's Puffs Bunnies rabbit. Let me just adjust my light here. Pardon me for just a moment. Things are going to get a little wibbly wobbly and shaky for a second there. But if you take a look at this, let's go ahead and put my hand up behind it and hold it in a way you can actually see it. Does that right there, that little bunny rabbit, or does it not, look just about almost exactly like that quote-unquote flying reindeer right there? I've got it backwards, so let's turn that around. There we are. General Mills. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research real quick, because I'm not sure if General Mills are the same company who makes the Reese's Rabbits. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Got the old phone research tool at my disposal. Okay, open up a new tab in the little web browser here. Go to Google. R-E-E-S-E-S-P-U-F-F-S. Reese's Puffs. Yep. General Mills, who makes the limited edition Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cereal, also made the Reese's Puffs bunnies. So, I mean, I will grant them this. They did try to get creative with that, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, apparently they think Rudolph looks like a rabbit. Rudolph and his elk. Get it? Because there's a word called ilk, and it's a bad joke. Whatever. So, I'm going to readjust my lighting here again. One moment. Get that back to where it was. Sorry for the shaky cam, but it's a necessary evil. So now, going to go ahead and pour ourselves a bowl of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed cereal. Red-Nosed cereal? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cereal. Into our handy-dandy cereal bowl mug. That's right. And then we stop right there because copyright infringement. Okay, now that I've got the actual cereal pieces in the bowl, I can go ahead and pull one out and show you side by side that these are in fact not reindeer, but they are little chocolate bunnies. See, Reese's Puff bunny, flying reindeer. Very similar, no? Okay, now I'm going to stop with that because I'm sure I'm getting at least a little annoying. That's getting a bit tedious. So before I actually wind up putting the milk in here, I'm going to try one of these by itself, as I usually do. So here we go. To your health, everyone. Okay, it's got a very nice chocolatey thing going for it. Not quite a Count Chocula kind of chocolate. It does kind of taste a bit more almost hot cocoa-like. Alright, so next I'm going to have a bite of Rudolph's nose. Kind of tastes like a Lucky Charms marshmallow. Alright, now let's try one of Hermes' hats. While munching on that, I'm going to try and track down the other shape. Double check, it was only 3 marshmallow shapes, right? Yeah. Okay, again, it tastes like a Lucky Charms marshmallow. And then we've got one of the so-called Christmas trees. Yep, all the marshmallows taste the same. Overall, it's not bad. I can say that I do like this cereal so far. Now, we pick up our other secret ingredient, our cup of milk. Dun 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 dun. Such a terrifying thing for the lactose intolerant. And if any of you in the audience are lactose intolerant, I'm sorry. That was just meant to be a joke. So now we pour the milk into the cereal. Do 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 do. That's the wrong song for this particular thing, because it's supposed to be a Rudy flavored. What the hell was I just saying? Rudolph inspired cereal. There. If I add too much more of that, it's going to start spilling. And we all know that I'm not a big fan of spilling my food on the floor. Even though without that, we wouldn't have the little Reese's Bunny over there. Spoiler alert, that's been in my office for a while. Yes, I know, that's gross. I need to clean up in there. Alright. So now we move on to actually tasting the cereal with milk. And trying our dangdest not to get any of this on the floor. I don't need any ants in this house any more than we've already had this past summer. Anyway, here's my first spoonful. To your health, everyone. Okay, definitely tastes a lot more like hot cocoa. It's got more of that chocolatey cocoa flavor after you add the milk. Once the powder on the pieces gets rehydrated, it definitely tastes like a bowl of Cocoa Puffs. Which is not a bad thing. I like Cocoa Puffs. Alright, one more bite for your viewing pleasure. who'd have thought that Cocoa Puffs with marshmallows would be a good combination, but it is. Alright. That's my actual breakfast for the day, so I'm going to be nomming on that pretty hardcore as soon as the camera goes off. But for the moment, I'm just going to set that down. Kind of finish up what I got in my mouth. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I just realized I forgot to do something. Forgot to try and preserve that freshness by rolling down the bag. And then folding the box tops. And then setting that aside. There. So ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the limited edition Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cereal from General Mills, I have to say that I do recommend this. For one thing, it's actually tasty, unlike that Elf on the Shelf cereal that I had last year or the year before. Let's not go thinking about that. That stuff was bad. This is not bad. This is good. I recommend this. If you can find yourselves a box of this, go ahead and get your hooves on it and pour yourself a bowl. I'm not sure if they're doing any other different characters, like if there's like a Hermes cereal or a Bumble cereal or maybe even Yukon Cornelius. I don't know. Maybe even they might even have a Santa Claus cereal. Again, I don't know. What I do know is they have this. It's fairly good, and I recommend that if you can find a box, go and get yourself a box of this stuff and try it for yourselves. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so very much. I put that up too soon. I want to thank you all so very much for coming and viewing my content. There we go. I truly and greatly appreciate it. And if you like what you've seen here today, go ahead and click on that jack-o'-lantern in whichever corner it pops up in, because I'm too lazy to change that back to anything else after Oktoberfest. And yeah, feel free to share these videos with your friends if you think they'll like them. And if you're not sure, share it anyway. You could be surprised. So with all of that out of the way, this is your old pal Oxleymations saying, have a holly jolly day, y'all. Later.